Welcome to the Natural Health Show with one of New England's leading holistic specialists, Mark Mincola. Call Mark at 617-822-1969 on 96.9 Boston Talks.
Welcome home, Natural Health Nation. Great to have you on board this humid, muggy August Sunday. Hey, it's great to have you. And, this is kind of one of those special occasions. I love having Catherine Foley on board. Hey, it's great to have you here.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be back.
How have you been?
Very good.
Always busy with new information, and I can't wait to tap into what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a new dietary supplement that we're working with called Taro Stilbene. It's very similar to Resveratrol, which I know we've spoken about here before. It's a form of resveratrol, a methylated form of resveratrol. It has better uptake in the body and metabolic stability in the body.
And somebody needs to stop naming these supplements the way they do. I was thinking about it on my walk today. It's spelled with a P, everybody, and it's not. It's a silent P. And the pronunciation of this supplement is Taro Stilbene. And as she pointed out, it's a polyphenol. It's an antioxidant found in berries and grapes, very similar to resveratrol, but up to 60 times more potent. And, some of the research that I tapped into on this remarkable antioxidant, among other things, recent studies have shown that Taro Stilbene is a very potent anti-inflammatory. It's up to 60 times more antifungal than resveratrol. It protects against colon cancer, inhibits the growth of pancreatic cancer, inhibits the pancreatic cancer developments, breast cancer developments as well, increases bone mass, reverses cognitive decline, improves memory, lowers LDL cholesterol and triglycerides, regulates blood sugar, and helps prevent diabetes. I mean, come on, this is just too good to be true. It's incredible. But can't we call it something else?
I know.
Can't we just call it vitamin J or something like that?
I know, absolutely. We're so excited about this because resveratrol itself has just been such a popular supplement, and it has been beneficial to so many people. So, given the popularity and the benefits of resveratrol, having something like Taro Stilbene that is more viable, it has a longer circulation in the body, and just has, as you had mentioned, just a couple more, good points to it that, we really feel that it's going to be the new resveratrol. It's going to offer many more things.
So we are on the cutting edge here, per usual, on the Natural Health Show, but it's called Taro Stilbene, everybody, P-T-E-R-O-S-T-I-L-B-E-N-E. But we can actually simplify that because Jarrow has a product called Taro Pure, right?
Right.
So that's a lot easier for people to remember.
Yep, and the compound is typically isolated from blueberries, so it's another one of those super fruits that we find these polyphenols in that are really great at protecting and giving the human body some.
Back to the French paradox.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Taro Stilbene is produced by the blueberry when it's under attack, so it's the natural defense mechanism.
Right, and it also occurs in grapes as well. So grapes and berries. But again, folks, I mean, if I were to tell you that there is a remarkable supplement that's now available that is derived from a polyphenol, found in berries and grapes, that is a potent anti-inflammatory. Again, 72% of all disease is inflammatory.
Right.
But it's a potent anti-inflammatory, a potent antifungal. Again, 60 times more potent than resveratrol as an antifungal. Protects against colon cancer, increases bone mass, reverses cognitive decline, improves memory, inhibits the growth of pancreatic cancer, lowers LDL and triglyceride, regulates blood sugar, helps prevent diabetes, and inhibits breast cancer. And this is all from hard studies that I actually pulled off the internet today, specific studies of late since the year 2011. So it's been studied, I read initially, since 1990.
Right.
But it's really getting turned up right now in terms of the research and the remarkable discoveries. And as you pointed out earlier before we went on, human studies now being done.
Right. It's one of those supplements that, we're catching it really early on, and it's in investigation and its research, and as we go further, it's only going to show more colors. It's only going to, show us more things and great aspects of that it will be able to do.
Now, I do have patients from time to time that would come in and say, "Wow, that sounds remarkable. How many blueberries do I have to eat in order to get the same benefit?"
Well, one of the things is that these compounds are only produced when the fruit or the berry is under attack. So you're not going to find large amounts of the Taro Stilbenes in the blueberries if you're eating healthy blueberries. And I wouldn't suppose that you would want to eat unhealthy blueberries. So
right on.
That's one of the important things is, we're not necessarily getting a huge exposure to it just by eating pounds and pounds of blueberries, and that's what you would have to eat.
She is Catherine Foley from Jar of Formulas, of course, good friend of the Natural Health program for many, many years. And, of course, we're here to talk to you about Taro Stilbene, but we're here to talk to you about your issues regarding natural health as well. So any of your supplement, vitamin, mineral, diet, nutrition, natural health, natural medicine questions, hey, that's really what we come here for. And our numbers in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon wireless users, it's a free call. Just dial pound 969. Catherine, too, I think we have somebody coming on a little later to chat, yes?
Right. We have Anne coming from Taro Pure, so she'll be able to talk to us directly, and she works for the raw material company, and so she's directly coordinates with the science and all of the great, wonderful things behind Taro Stilbene. So we'll be able to get some additional information from Anne.
And some of the amazing research that probably I've not really found, she will certainly have at her fingertips.
Yes, absolutely.
So I look forward to speaking with her and getting her information regarding Taro Stilbene. But it is a very powerful polyphenol antioxidant, again, now in supplement form. Been extensively researched, and again, the research is incredibly impressive. And the product, of course, that we're talking about from the standpoint of Jar of Formulas is a lot easier to remember, as I said.
Right.
And it's just just the letter P, Taro, Tero, Pure, Pure, as in clean. Mm-hmm. So Taro Pure is an awful lot easier to remember than Taro Stilbene.
Yes. Well, resveratrol was one of those.
Resveratrol was a tongue tire.
That was a tough one too. But when something is so it has so many great functions to it, and I know Taro Stilbene will get a lot of press and will be written up a lot and will be talked about.
And is starting to really become quite the superstar in the world of nutrition right now.
Yeah, right. And with resveratrol is so beneficial for so many things, and people really find a great benefit from taking that. So the further we research all of these things, we get closer and closer to better solutions.
So for folks who are just getting the word on resveratrol and are just learning how to spell it and pronounce it, we're going to throw another tongue tire your way. And it's called Taro Stilbene. And it's something you're going to find an awful lot of remarkable information about in the days and weeks ahead. So we're going to break it to you here tonight, talk a lot about that research. And you'll be glad we did. Again, in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon wireless users, free call pound 969. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Log on, hear your favorite hosts, listen live and on demand. 969bostontalks.com.
The brain requires nutrition just like the rest of the body. Although many of us depend upon caffeine for focus and concentration, caffeine is not actually a nutrient. Real nutrition is needed to enhance brain metabolism and provide antioxidant protection. This is where Jar of Formula's Neuro Optimizer comes to the rescue. Neuro Optimizer is a concentrated source of the nutrients needed for memory and mood, for concentration and focus, all without being a stimulant. Neuro Optimizer supplies the building blocks for neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow cells in the brain to communicate and to file away memories. Acetyl L-carnitine and alpha-lipoic acid support brain energy production. Phosphatidylserine, L-glutamine, and taurine enhance brain stability and detoxification in the face of stress. Neuro Optimizer is the nutritional answer to the brain's needs. Ask for Neuro Optimizer at your local health food store, or for more information, go to jarrow.com. That's JARROW for the best in brain health formulas.
Do you own or manage a natural health, fitness, day spa, or go green business? Perhaps you have a unique restaurant that offers healthy entrees, heart-smart seafood, vegetarian or lighter fare options. I invite you to share your vision and deliver your message directly to health-conscious New Englanders by becoming a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, New England's #1 health radio show. The Natural Health Show is now welcoming potential sponsors to join our natural health family by offering a number of creative and flexible sponsorship packages. For information on how to become a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, simply call Candida at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Be a part of New England's natural health revolution. Join our Natural Health Show family today.
Everyone's heard of the weight loss sensation Ervinja African Mango Extract. It's the life extension weight loss formula that helps you control your appetite and break down stored body fat. Well, now Life Extension has combined Ervinja with another weight loss breakthrough called Adipostat. Like Ervinja, Adipostat helps break down stored body fat. It also helps prevent new fat cells from forming and helps keep existing fat cells from growing. Imagine the effect of this new double-barrel weight loss formula. It's called Advanced Anti-Adipocyte Formula. It's all natural, and you'll find it wherever Life Extension supplements are sold. Advanced Anti-Adipocyte Formula. Sure, the name is hard, but losing weight? Now that's easy.
Here we go.
Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, free call, pound 96.9. And let's take a few phone calls here. Eleanor from Situate, welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, Dr. Mark.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you about something I just read about recently, dried plum extract to help with osteoporosis, and I wondered what you thought of that.
Well, I think we're talking probably about the very same thing that we're talking about here tonight with regards to blueberries and cherries or grapes, etc. We're talking about these polyphenol antioxidants, which are very much correlated with the conversation we're having tonight with Catherine regarding Taro Stilbene. So I think dry plum extract, certainly when you have the dried version of these, it's sort of like Catherine was saying, it's almost like, you're concentrating it. So I think, when you concentrate these extracts, you're going to have a lot more antioxidant effect from these things. So polyphenols are pretty well documented, from these various fruits, from plums and from cherries and berries. There's also monoterpenes. There's a number of different powerful antioxidants in these fruits that clearly are very, very potent. And again, a lot of research that seems to suggest that anti-inflammatory is the key word.
Well, thanks. So would you suggest that this Jarrow product would be as strong or would do the same thing?
Go ahead, Catherine.
It's going to be stronger. One of the things about the Taro Stilbene is it is standardized so that you know that you're getting exactly 50 milligrams of it. Sometimes in the dry extracts, it's not the nutraceutical ingredients are not standardized, so you don't know how much you're actually getting from dose to dose. So that's the benefit of using a supplement, is that you're getting very specific dosing so that you can really monitor and treat yourself according to some sort of regimen.
Well, and again, I think a lot of these studies that I've plucked actually indicate that it's, you think about the potency of resveratrol and the remarkable studies that have already been done to date on resveratrol. That's a great supplement. It's a very powerful antioxidant.
Right.
And yet a lot of the Taro Stilbene research seems to suggest that it's up to 60 times more powerful. So it's a really potent supplement.
Right. And, resveratrol, with all of the wonderful benefits and everything that it has, Taro Stilbene stays around in your system for a little bit longer. So it has a longer half-life
yes.
in the body. So you're getting more exposure to it. You're getting more metabolism from the actual ingredient. So that as far as being a benefit above and over resveratrol.
Yeah, it stays in the system longer and probably penetrates the brain-blood barrier.
Oh, yeah.
So more absorbable.
That sounds great. Just one more thing on that subject. Then, would you, in addition to that, would you take a calcium, magnesium supplement as well for bones?
Yeah, and Eleanor, I have to, suggest that, when you're taking a supplement for bone density, that you really, really, really have to take a bone formula. There was a recent clinical study that showed that taking calcium and magnesium alone without the cofactors like vitamin D and vitamin K,
MK7,
can actually be detrimental. The circulating calcium in your bloodstream has a tendency to be attracted to the plaque in your arteries. And so they're seeing that long term, it's, just taking calcium and magnesium is not enough. You really do need a bone formula. You need a good form of calcium.
Right. Yeah, that's what I meant actually. So you would take that in addition.
Yeah, everybody out there that's listening to it's absolutely vital that you have some vitamin K with your calcium, and use a good form of calcium. Jaro, we use hydroxyapatite calcium, which is really a wonderful form of calcium. It's a protein form, but calcium citrate. There's lots of other options.
Yeah, like some of the carbonates are only like 15 to 20% absorbable. You want to make sure you're taking a real absorbable form.
Yeah, and that's the research that just came out that shows, the detriments of circulating calcium in the bloodstream is primarily with the carbonate form.
Right.
So, there's so many options out there. We can very clearly steer away from carbonate.
And the vitamin K2 that you talk about is so important. It's a traffic
critical.
cop in the body. It makes sure that calcium goes to the bone and doesn't accumulate in the arteries.
It's absolutely critical. So, yeah, Eleanor, you're in good shape.
Sounds like you're doing great.
Well, thank you so much.
Keep up the good work.
Very helpful.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye. All right, let's get to another question, too. Here we got Rick on the line from Wayland. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're in the Natural Health Show.
Well, thank you. I have a friend who's a longtime fan that referred me to your show, and my question is, do you have any suggestions for someone like me with tinnitus?
Yeah, I think the first things that come to mind with tinnitus would be a couple electrolyte supports and probably some neurological support. B12 is probably the first thing I'd recommend in the form of a methyl B12. Jaro Formulas, of course, has a great methyl B12 that's 5,000 mics, which is a terrific B12, very absorbable. So I'd recommend that 5,000 microgram methyl B12 from Jaro Formulas, number one. Number two, I definitely would recommend some potassium in the form of perhaps like a liquid potassium citrate. There's Twin Labs makes a good potassium. I might recommend 1 teaspoon every other day. I wouldn't want to do it every day. And also magnesium. Magnesium taurate would be fine. Or the Magnesium Optimizer might not be a bad thing that Jaro
has
makes.
potassium in it, too.
Has potassium in it. So you might be able to just cover all the bases right there with the Jaro Formulas Magnesium Optimizer. And I would think about 2 of those a day to support your system with the proper electrolyte support. So you get the B12 and you got the potassium magnesium. That's what I'd say.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't know if there was anything that could really help that by way of supplements. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for calling. And once again, our numbers in Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call, pound 969. Let's get to Mary from Hull. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks from the Natural Health Show.
Hi, Mark and Catherine. Nice to hear you, Catherine, again.
Hi.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a general question. This pertains to if you have any knowledge of mosquito. It's a spraying compound called synthetic pyrethroid, if I'm saying that right. It's done between 2 and 5 a.m. so as not to kill beneficial insects and bees and such. But it is supposed to be non-carcinogenic from what I read. It breaks down within an hour of sunlight and leaving no residue. But is this something you've heard about?
Well, my first question to you is, do you take B-complex?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because in many cases, if you have an ample supply of B-complex in your system, you're going to be more of a turnoff to mosquitoes, which is a good thing to be. No, we don't know. Catherine is checking into...
Yeah, Mary, what was the name of it again?
Synthetic pyrethroid, which is Pyrethroid.
Synthetic pyrethroid?
Right.
Okay. Well, she's checking up on that. I mean, we don't know about it. It's probably something that is... you didn't find this in the natural health store, is that correct?
No, actually.
Is it something that they're spraying in your neighborhood?
That's the talk. And it hasn't... I don't think it's happened yet, but we do have a garden, and I'm not sure which way to go with this. I mean,
so you're talking about the town is thinking about spraying the town with this stuff.
That's correct.
Got it.
So the pyrethroids are they're chrysanthemum. They're insecticides derived from chrysanthemum. I'll take a look at the toxicology on them.
Okay.
But my first inclination is that if any sort of exposure to insecticides, they're typically aromatic based compounds, and stuff like that. My first inclination is to suggest to take some N-acetylcysteine, which is a amino acid that helps phase 2 liver detox, phase 1 and phase 2.
Get your glutathione production up.
Yeah, in your liver, and this is really important when we have chemical exposure every single day. I mean, we just don't even know what's going on. So things like N-acetylcysteine are really, really good in helping the body's own defense mechanisms in getting rid of compounds that show up in your tissue or show up in your bloodstream that are foreign compounds that your body doesn't know how to get rid of them. So I would, take NAC. I take it every day anyways, but if that
take
is something,
1,000 milligrams a day.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
come rain or shine.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful way to help whenever you have exposure to a chemical or something.
Which is daily.
Yeah, and N-acetylcysteine is one of the only dietary supplements in the physician's desk reference, and it's particularly used whenever somebody has exposure to toxic levels of chemicals.
Right. So if anyone even has compromised health, that's good for most anyone, including teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she said, it really increases the body's production of glutathione, which is really all about getting those free radicals out of the system and antagonizing those free radicals. One of the great things that I read about glutathione is that there are a number of different antioxidants that actually protect us from free radical assaults, but there's only one that they found so far that actually converts free radicals into healthy cells again, and that is glutathione.
And I think ALA, you once said as well.
Well, ALA actually works along with the N-acetylcysteine.
Great. Okay, but you don't need to take the glutathione in addition to...
No, I would just take the N-acetylcysteine and get your body to manufacture higher levels of glutathione within.
And then we can get back to enjoying summer.
Yes, indeed.
What's left of it. Thank you.
We're going to look at the toxicology, and then we'll get to you. We'll report that before the show's over.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Good call. Thanks.
You guys have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see. Let's get to John from Arlington. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You are on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, how you doing?
Terrific.
I had a question about Crohn's disease. I've had Crohn's for about 15 years, and I'm wondering if there is any help you can provide in that area.
Yeah, my advice for Crohn's disease, at the cost of sounding like a broken record, if you've been listening to the show, I apologize, but I can't celebrate this company enough. The company that I'm speaking of is a good friend of the show, and obviously been a sponsor for a long time, and it's Alites Medical Labs. And the reason I mention them is because they have a great site that you can get right to, and it's foodallergy.com. Pretty simple. It's not plural, it's singular. Foodallergy.com. Okay. And they offer a number of really terrific blood tests, but there's one that's an IgG test, and it's the ELISA test. Very, very efficient, very effective at identifying with the inflammatory foods that you're eating, and specifically the numerical value, just how inflammatory those foods are, from a range of like 0 to 900. So you get a really clear idea of exactly where the real inflammatory culprits are. Then they put you on a rotation program. They put a booklet together for you that tells you exactly what you're going to eat during the course of the week and the month to help you clear your system of that inflammation. But again, the key to Crohn's disease, you've got inflammation of the gut. You've got to identify what the sources of that inflammation, eliminate them, and let your body heal.
Okay, so it actually helps you identify what your specific diet should be.
Exactement. That is the answer.
Very nice. And sorry, what was the name of the...
Yeah, if you go to just look for foodallergy.com, you'll find it's Alites Medical Labs. Yeah, it's foodallergy, singular, foodallergy.com.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling, John. All right. And we got time for another caller to you. All right, let's get to let's get to Ted from Winchester. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks here on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you today?
Pleasure. How are you?
Good, thanks. First time I've ever listened. Very interesting.
Well, thanks.
I have a couple questions. I just wanted to find out what you think the benefits are for coconut oil dietary, supplement. Yep. And then B2 and B3.
Okay, Catherine, why don't you talk about coconut oil?
Coconut oil is, it's great to use as a supplement for some of the high-fat cooking things you would use.
Well, it is. It's great. It's great tasting. It's a very healthy medium chain saturated fat. So when people see the word saturated fat, they get nervous. But this is a good form of saturated fat.
Right.
Also, I point out the caprylic and the caprylic acid in there, the sorbic acid in there, also the lauric acid. These are good fatty acids that are antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. I mean, what else could we say about it? It's great stuff.
Yeah, I currently take high blood pressure medicine, and it's getting better.
Great.
But over the last probably 4 months, I've been taking coconut oil, and my blood pressure's come way down.
Great,
wow,
good report.
Excellent.
So, and of course, exercise and diet certainly helps. But I think coconut oil had a lot to do with it. But the other two things were B2 and B3. Their benefits for me. I'm 41 years old, and again, I could exercise and eat better, but I have a good friend who says that B2 and B3 would be beneficial. I don't know.
Well, all the B vitamins are neurologically supportive. We know that, and obviously vitamin B2 is great as a nervine, and vitamin B3 is a great circulatory support. It enhances the circulation in the brain, etc. So, I mean, who did a lot of research on those was at the Dr. Carl Pfeiffer down at the BioBrain Center in Princeton for years, and found out that a lot of folks with various depressions and whatnot did exceptionally well with your B2s and your B3s, also B6, B12. But your B's are again very, very, very important for the brain function, very important for nerve function. So I'm guessing that your friend probably read something along those lines. But I would say your B complex is really unbeatable.
Okay, great.
Hey,
Thank you very much. I'm going to keep listening. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate your call. All right, we're going to take a short little breather and be right on back. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We're excited to partner with Life Extension, the industry leader in anti-aging and optimal health for over 30 years. Life Extension funds and reports scientific breakthroughs on anti-aging protocols and nutrition, then formulates cutting-edge supplements based on that successful clinical research. So when you purchase any science-based Life Extension supplement from Good Health, you can be sure of its potency, purity, and efficacy. They work. It's that simple. In fact, Life Extension supplements are complex nutrition made easy. So visit Good Health in Quincy and Hanover today. Ask about Life Extension's premium quality formulations, anti-aging as well as weight loss, hormone balancing, bone and joint health, heart and brain health, and so much more. Learn more about Life Extension products at goodhealthnaturalfood.com. Then pick up your free copy of Life Extension magazine at your local Good Health store. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
When most people hear the word allergies, they think only of hay fever-like symptoms associated with airborne pollen, dust, and mold. But did you know that many experts estimate that between 60 and 80 million of us suffer from immune-related food allergies without even knowing it? Furthermore, food allergies often contribute to serious health problems such as autism, irritable bowel syndrome, ADD, headaches, and chronic ear infections. Now, there's an effective way to identify and eliminate both your food allergies and the troubling symptoms that they aggravate. Allotest Medical Labs at foodallergy.com offers a full complement of clinical, environmental, and food allergy testing to help you get to the root of your allergy problems. Allotest also provides you with a comprehensive rotation diet, lifestyle booklet, and a wallet card to help you live food allergy-free and stress-free. Do you wonder if you or your loved ones are among the 60 to 80 million food allergy sufferers in America? If so, log on to Allotest Medical Labs, foodallergy.com. Talk to your doctor about ordering a food allergy test from Allotest Medical Labs today. Foodallergy.com. Make sure the food you're eating isn't what's depleting you.
The brain requires nutrition just like the rest of the body. Although many of us depend upon caffeine for focus and concentration, caffeine is not actually a nutrient. Real nutrition is needed to enhance brain metabolism and provide antioxidant protection. This is where Jarrow Formula's Neuro Optimizer comes to the rescue. Neuro Optimizer is a concentrated source of the nutrients needed for memory and mood, for concentration and focus, all without being a stimulant. Neuro Optimizer supplies the building blocks for neurotransmitters, the chemicals that allow cells in the brain brain to communicate and to file away memories. Acetyl L-carnitine and alpha-lipoic acid support brain energy production. Phosphatidylserine, L-glutamine, and taurine enhance brain stability and detoxification in the face of stress. Neuro Optimizer is the nutritional answer to the brain's needs. Ask for Neuro Optimizer at your local health food store, or for more information, go to Jarrow.com. That's Jarrow for the best in brain health formulas.
Now back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users free call pound 969. And we had one caller, Mary from Hull, earlier that asked about the pyrethroids, because there, I guess, is talk in that town about spraying for mosquitoes. And an unpublished study currently in available abstract form led by Picciotto, Department of Health Services, University of California, Davis. There's all kinds of corollaries between the spraying of pyrethroids as very powerful insecticides that, of course, are axonic toxins, which means they, for various insects, are going to present as neurological toxins.
For paralysis,
etc. So, anyway, there have been some associations with risks of bronchitis, sinusitis, conjunctivitis, etc. So, anyway, there you go. But it's obviously something that you're going to have to basically take up with your town, I guess.
Right, and N-acetylcysteine again for these.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
These things in the piece that we just looked at, it said, toxicity is shown in humans at very high concentrations. Right. And, this is the part that really irritates me about the way that our system works, is that each one of these microchemicals is deemed safe because the exposure is not in high concentration. The problem is we get exposure to so many of these different microchemicals on your average day that the summation of that exposure has never been fully studied or taken a look at for safety.
I just read a study that said there are approximately 80,000 that we're exposed to on an average day.
Right, and that's the thing. So these pyrethroids, 500 parts per million, daily exposure for a human being is not going to create any sort of major problem. But we're getting exposure to that, and then we're getting exposure to a list of 100 other chemicals that are broken up in their parts per million of, exposure. And when you add that all up, it just gets pretty scary.
Absolutely true. So, we can't always control our immediate environment, but we certainly have the ability to control our body and the environment within our body and our immune system, etc. And NAC is a great way to go.
Yeah.
N-acetylcysteine will keep your body fairly clean from most of those exposures, and that's the real key. All right, let's get to some calls here. We got Eldridge on the line from Rhode Island. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, Mark. I've heard a lot about you, and I've just recently been listening to the radio, and I feel maybe you'll be able to help my wife. She's suffering from trigeminal neuralgia, and she gets excruciating pain. Her neurologist has prescribed Neurontin, which is an anti-seizure medication.
Sure, yes.
And it helped her in the beginning, and then now she's on heavy doses. It's about 3,000 milligrams per day.
Yep.
And it has just started, reaching a threshold, and it's not helping her as much. So she prescribed baclofen, which is a muscle relaxant.
Right.
And she's getting a lot of adverse effects from it. So most probably we are thinking of calling her tomorrow to DC that.
Right.
And I thought of calling you maybe if you have.
Yeah, well, let me first say that there are some really important recommendations that I would make dietarily first. And I think it's really important to avoid those foods that drive up the inflammatory leukotrienes in the body. There are hormones that actually are inflammatory that make pain unbearable and inflame the nervous system, and those are basically triggered by a fatty acid called arachidonic acid, which is triggered by red meats, dairy products, egg yolks, and nuts, like peanuts, for example. So number one, I'd stop eating those things for a while. Obviously, if there's a lot of sugar in the diet, I'd be careful of that as well. I'd cut that down. Now, in terms of supplements, there's some things that I think might be really important to bring into play here. There are things like DLPA, which can be given a try. D-L-phenylalanine, which actually is a neurotransmitter, and it's an amino acid that actually supports neurotransmission of pain regulation in the brain. So 500 milligrams of DLPA, I'd say 4 a day. I'd spread it out throughout the day. There's also some natural anti-inflammatory support that we might think about here as well. Now,
where would I get this DLPA?
You could find that at any of your health food stores. One of our sponsors is Good Health Natural Foods. You could try calling Good Health Natural Foods. And
what is the number of that?
I can give you their number. It's 617-773-4925. That's Good Health.
7734.
617-773-4925.
4925.
That's it.
All right. And so does he mail it? Will he mail?
Yes, they will. They'll mail to you. In fact, our listeners might want to know that Good Health Natural Foods does do that. They do mail and ship stuff out to you also. They'll basically connect with you on the phone. If you can't make it in there, they'll get stuff off to you.
All right. And then after DLPA, what else did you suggest?
DLPA is what I say, not TA, DLPA. Also, there are some really powerful natural anti-inflammatories that are quite common, but not to be underestimated. Things like ginger, things like rosemary.
She takes ginger.
Yeah, well, she should take a lot of ginger. If you think about 500 milligrams, I'd probably consider like 6 of those a day. So 2, 2, and 2.
Okay.
All right. There is also Wobenzyme. There is Zyflamend. I often recommend.
I had got Zyflamend, but she is very afraid and very panicky about taking drugs.
Well, these are not drugs though. These are food supplements.
I know, yes.
She gets a little nervous about pills, but she's already on quite a few of them. But
yes.
And you can approach inflammation and pain from the perspective of teas as well, and spices in the food, to use a lot of curcumin, turmeric. Like I said, rosemary, to get some organic rosemary, to get some ginger, use high concentrations of that in the diet, and to eliminate those inflammatory pain-causing foods that drive up your leukotrienes that we talked about earlier. Those are all pretty good solutions from a non-pill perspective.
Now, the one that you were talking earlier, the Taro
DLPA, or the Taro Stilbene
from the blueberry.
Yeah, the Taro Stilbene. Yes.
Yes. Was that good for her?
No, I mean it is, but I think you want to probably focus more on the supplements that Mark is suggesting to deal with the pain first. That's always what you want to deal with first, and manage her pain well, and then, you can add some other things there to help with the recovery process, or, to help her along even more. But, definitely pain management is one of the first things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine. And so I can get her 500 milligrams of ginger and give it to her 4 times a day?
Yeah, I'd take 2, 2, and 2. 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening.
And the rosemary, is it an oil or?
You could use the rosemary in pure spice form. That works perfectly good. Just high concentrations of rosemary in food will do the job.
Oh, I see. And is there anything else?
That's it. I think if you're working with the diet, like we pointed out, and starting out with those supplements, I think you'll be fine. And I still would say that the Zyflamend can be very, very helpful. The Zyflamend works really good with DLPA. All right. All right, I think he's gone. Thanks for calling, and let's get on to Wayne from Brockton. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Thanks for taking my call. It's been working for weeks, and I finally get a chance to listen to it. I love it. I love
it. Thank you.
And I always turn my friends onto it. And I learned a new term 2 weeks ago, diverticulitis. I've always been 51 years old, always been regular, but I've noticed a few times over the past few years, and for some reason it always seemed to be when I went away, that my regularity was kind of challenged a bit, and I'm wondering if those might have been minor bouts of diverticulitis, and it wasn't that serious, and I haven't really done a follow-up with my physician after the ER visit, but maybe to just preface the audience, and what should I be doing now as part of my diet and regimen?
Well, first of all, I would say affirmative, Wayne, that when you get away from home, you're not eating as controlled a diet as you do when you're in your own home environment. You know what you're buying, you know what you're shopping, you have your pattern set, and you're very clear about what's going down the hatch. You don't really get to monitor all that's going into preparations, obviously, when you're away from home for any extended period of time, restaurant eating, etc. And the chances are better than good that you have a number of different inflammatory agents that are finding their way in, and that those are probably minor expressions of some inflammation there that could be diverticulitis, no question about it. Again, I go back to at the cost of sounding like I'm saying the same old, singing the same tune here. If you get to foodallergy.com, you check out Allotest Medical Labs and really pinpoint, like we said to the earlier caller, get specific about what it is that's problematic for you on that dinner plate, and to pinpoint it from a numerical perspective. In other words, imagine if with the test, anything over 200 is inflammatory, and it goes all the way up to like 990. So imagine if you're looking at a food that you didn't know was like an 800 or a 900. I mean, that's a dead ringer for trouble. So to basically have that map right in front of your eyes, knowing exactly where your problematic stuff is so that you can avoid it. And again, like I pointed out, the Allotest Labs will put together a booklet for you that is a rotation booklet so that, for the next week and month, you can, specifically what to eat, whether you're away from home or not, and you can monitor it as best you can. But having that map is really, I think, the most enlightening part of the process and really gets you into the clear as far as following a program that's safe and and non-inflammatory.
So that would, I was misled under the food allergies. I thought that was more of a chemical reaction to your body versus, when you hear about the nuts and things like that that are physically being trapped in the colon. So you think that different foods could have that type of effect on my body?
Yeah, no question about it. I think that, most people are thinking just about those little seeds getting up into the diverticular canals. But I also think that it really has a lot to do with fermented foods as well. So when you think about things that are yeast, and when you get in restaurants, you get on the road, you get away from home, one of the more typical things you're going to get confronted with is things that are marinated, things that are, they're marinated with various balsamics and things like that. You're not going to do that at home per se, but you get out on the road, and that's going to happen more in restaurants and things of that nature. So it's not just the seeds getting up into those canals causing inflammation, but it's the preparation response. And when they prepare those foods in a very fermented fashion, you're going to often run into secondary and tertiary inflammation as well.
But so you think primary objective now should be the allergy test versus, or maybe in conjunction with still cutting down on the nuts? I mean, is a cucumber...
Yes, indeed. The answer is affirmative, in conjunction with.
A cucumber seed, pickle seeds, I mean, all these things?
Ditto. Yes,
really?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Actually, they were on your program about a month ago, weren't they?
They were indeed, yes. You can actually go back to the website. If you listen to the program, go to the website. It's Max Healing, just one word, maxhealing.com.
Yeah.
And you scroll back and you'll see about a month ago we did indeed have that show, and you can actually replay that.
All right. Thanks, Mark.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for calling. Bye-bye. All right, we're up against a break here. We're going to take your calls. We've got Alice, Rika, Robin, Lori, Lisa, a whole bunch of you on the line here. So hang in there. We'll get to your calls as soon as we come back. Stay tuned.
96.9's new primetime lineup. Jim and Marjorie 6 to 10. Doug Meehan 10 to noon.
A little new thing going on over here at TKK.
Michael Smerconish live noon to 3.
We are ecstatic to be with you live.
And Michael Graham.
Your official afternoon drive wingman.
Now, afternoons 3 to 7. 96.9 Boston Talks.
Do you own or manage a natural health, fitness, day spa, or go green business? Perhaps you have a unique restaurant that offers healthy entrees, heart-smart seafood, vegetarian or lighter fare options. I invite you to share your vision and deliver your message directly to health-conscious New Englanders by becoming a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, New England's #1 health radio show. The Natural Health Show is now welcoming potential sponsors to join our natural health family by offering a number of creative and flexible sponsorship packages. For information on how to become a sponsor of the Natural Health Show, simply call Candida at 781-834-2728. That's 781-834-2728. Be a part of New England's natural health revolution. Join our Natural Health Show family today.
Do you take CoQ10 for heart health? Melatonin to help you sleep? African mango extract to lose weight? If you do, you can thank Life Extension. For over 30 years, Life Extension has been making cutting-edge nutritional supplements that can make all the difference in maintaining your health. Life Extension has always been ahead of the curve, so each and every formula is based on successful scientific research and tested for purity, potency, and effectiveness. That's why Life Extension supplements have become the gold standard of the industry. So if you haven't yet discovered Life Extension products, find them at a health food store near you. Visit www.lifeextensionretail.com for locations. Then make Life Extension nutritional supplements a key part of your personal health regimen. Life Extension, for longer life. Now, doesn't that say it all?
There's a fine balance between what's best for your landscape and what's best for your family. This is why Aspen Environmental Services of New England is proud to be an industry leader in the use of environmentally responsible products for outdoor pest control, tree and shrub spraying and injecting. Applications control Lyme disease ticks, caterpillars, adelgids, and 200 other pests that damage landscape. Visit the plant healthcare professionals at treeandlawncare.com. That's treeandlawncare.com. Or call 888-418-BUGS and mention Candida because listeners get a 10% discount. That's 888-418-BUGS. treeandlawncare.com. Get them before they get you. Now, back to the Natural Health Show, sponsored by Good Health Natural Foods in Quincy and Hanover.
In Boston and New England, 617-822-1969. Verizon Wireless users, free call, pound 969. Hey, Mary from Hull, I was just listening. Catherine and I were listening to that last commercial just a moment ago. Maybe you should get the town of Hull to contact treeandlawncare.com. And obviously, they could do the job in your town a lot safer and a lot cleaner. And maybe you could work something out, Anyway, there you go. A cleaner way to get it done, a safer way to get it done. There's always a solution. All right, let's get to some of these calls here. Let's get to Lisa from Salem, New Hampshire. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talks. You're on the Natural Health Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Terrific.
Thanks for
how are
taking
you?
my call. Good, thanks. Just have a couple of questions on one of the products. I'm not sure if I can mention it on the air, but I've used Market America in the past.
Sure.
And I was just wondering what you guys thought of that, and also if you have any suggestions of what like a normal serving of vitamins throughout the day should be for a normal 34-year-old woman.
Well, first of all, Market America is a company that I looked at. I think they came to show me their product line about maybe 15 years ago. So I'm not really up to date with what they've got going on. We're usually working with a lot of companies that are more retail based. At Good Health Natural Foods, and obviously Jar Formulas, it's in Life Extension, etc. So I'd have to plead no low there. As far as a standard program, I'd say it begins with nutrition. I'm all about food first. The idea that you're eating a healthy diet is really important. Obviously, lean proteins, baked or broiled, a lot of fruits, veggies, whole grains as opposed to white flour products and all that. So you got to get that done first. Keep your lipids low, a couple tablespoons of good oil a day, olive oil, and hold down on some of the milk fat products and things like that. As far as a general vitamin program, I think Catherine and I have pointed out many times there are things like CoQ10. Yeah. There are things like N-acetylcysteine that we find irreplaceable and really vital to our program to our protocol each day. So I'd recommend that those two things are added to whatever multi you might be taking or to your vitamin C's. A lot of folks, of course, really respond really well to vitamin C during the winter months, obviously, fighting off the colds and flus. But, let's just say a really good multi, little C, and then to make sure that you're taking NAC, N-acetylcysteine, and CoQ10, and make sure it's ubiquinol because that's the more readily absorbed form of CoQ10. Maybe 100 to 200 milligrams a day of that. And as I said, the N-acetylcysteine, 500 to 1,000 milligrams, a good multi. And I say 1 to 3,000 vitamin C. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because the great Linus Pauling, the Nobel Prize researcher, when interviewed, said that he takes 10,000 a day of vitamin C to prevent cold and flu and 20,000 a day to fight it. Right. So there you go. So 3,000 isn't going to hurt anybody.
And I do have some osteoarthritis. Is there anything that I should add in? Probably a little more vitamin C or anything like that? Or
I would focus on the fatty acids, having the good omegas for the arthritis, because you're like me, being in your 30s is all right now. It's just all about preventative and anti-aging, and that's why the things like the antioxidants are so important.
Well, and flax is really, I think flax is a great way to do it. The great Joanna Budwig, the great researcher, wrote extensively about the importance of flax oil as an anti-inflammatory for the arthritis problems. So I think flax is a great way to go.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for calling. Thanks for listening as well. All right, let's get to another caller, too. Here we've got Lori from Medway. Welcome to 96.9 Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Hey, Mark. Absolutely love you guys' show.
Thank you so much.
I know you're running out of time, so I'll leave you my question quickly. I have a brother who is battling alcoholism, is just going to be coming out of his first detox on Monday, and I'm wondering if there's anything you would suggest. His eating habits have not been good, and I'm wondering if there's any supplements you'd suggest as a starting point.
Yeah, Lori, there is amazing research on an amino acid called GABA, GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, and they actually use it a lot in Europe for people that have drug and alcohol dependency.
Okay.
And what GABA does is it helps to modulate the dopamine receptors and the opiate receptors in your brain to help you deal with some of the the side effects of detoxing, because alcohol is a stimulant and it's a depressant at the same time. So you really have to watch kind of your mood chemicals, so per se, and a lot of times that's what brings people to bounce back into bouts with it again.
Yeah, and also back in the 60s and 70s, there was a tremendous amount of research being done at UCLA regarding another one that actually is called glutamine.
Yeah, yep.
And they did some great work with glutamine, and of course, you can't miss with B-complex as well in this situation. Absolutely. So here's my recommendations. I'd say GABA is a great idea.
Yep.
500 milligrams, 2 of those tablets, twice a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Also, glutamine, 500 milligrams, 2 a day on an empty stomach, morning and afternoon. And a good B-complex, like a good, the jar of formulas makes a great B vitamin.
Yeah, the B vitamins are so important.
Yeah.
So important.
Okay.
So good B-complex.
And the glutamine is on an empty stomach, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much.
Hey, good luck, and we celebrate his great effort.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Good luck. Bye-bye.
What a nice sister.
Yes, indeed. No kidding. That's what love's all about. We got Robin on the line from Newbury. Welcome to 96.9, a Boston Talk Show and the Natural Health Show.
Hi, yes, I'd like to ask you about alpha-lipoic acid. I've been hearing about it, reading about it in health food magazines, and, is it good for the, what aspects of the brain, what does it help in the brain, and can it also be used for skin care?
Okay, we're gonna take this, we're gonna probably cut you here because we'll answer your question. We're gonna have to hustle right along, but thank you so much for your question. Catherine, why don't you take it?
Alpha-lipoic acid is really great. It helps with blood sugar metabolism, so it's really good for the memory because it helps, your brain runs on glucose, so it helps to stabilize all of those functions.
And so does Taro Stilbene, by the way.
Yeah, Taro Stilbene is amazing for blood sugar as well, and alpha-lipoic acid is great for skin care. You guys have heard about it. Who's the skincare doctor?
Not Huska.
Perricone.
Oh, Perricone, yes, there you go.
Dr. Perricone did all the research on alpha-lipoic acid, and alpha-lipoic acid, when applied topically, tightens the collagen network in the skin, so it helps fine lines and wrinkles.
And why don't you, before we part here with the program, why don't we talk about the wonderful product that Jar Formulas has, the Taro Stilbene product, so folks can check that out. Do they have it at Good Health Natural Foods?
They should soon. It's so brand new for us, so they should have it soon. And the Taro Stilbene is like resveratrol, but you get double the circulation, double the coverage from it. Again, like I say, these antioxidants are so important. Pick one, try one, add it to your
And this one is called P, as in just the letter P, Taro, T-E-R-O, right? Pure, P-Taro Pure. And again, it's 99% pure methylated resveratrol, Taro Stilbene, and it's 50 milligrams. We'd recommend 1 a day.
1 a day.
And you'll find that, if not tomorrow, at Good Health Natural Foods very soon. Ask them for it. And and Catherine Foley from Jar Formulas, thank you so much for being on board. I love working with you.
We have to say a special hello to a good listener that I met
Kevin
weeks
Purcell, CFO from Emerson, who's an avid listener, I guess, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
So, Kevin, thank you so much for your listenership, and one of these days we'll get in and chat with you, perhaps. And until next Sunday, this is Mark Mancola. Of course, thanks so much to Mike Roberts, our producer, who keeps this thing going right down the middle of the road here, and intern Alex Todorovic, and our podcast meister, Adam Ing. We got to thank Adam. And of course, anybody who's interested in watching these programs, yes, I said watching because we do podcast these shows, so you can watch the shows or listen to them, your choice. And it's going to be on www.maxhealing.com. That's just one word, maxhealing.com.
And we can see you on TV, too.
Yes, you can on those Fox segments that are on every other Thursday, and they can check those out on the website as well, because they're all stored and they're all archived there. So indeed, that is true. And also, we'd like to make sure everybody stays tuned to Woody and Abby, because Right Turn Radio is coming up, and that is a great program. It's New England's numero uno addiction program. We love listening on the way home, so stay tuned to them as well. And again, Catherine Foley, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And to each and everybody out there, thank you for listening, and I'll be here again next Sunday at 5 o'clock to bring you the Natural Health and Healing Show. Until then, this is Mark Mancola reminding you all, please be wise, be aware, be well. Make it a healthy week. Good night.